It has been a long night, ladies and gentlemen, but we went from one to the other. You just saw the wrestling forum. Please log on to Anthony Florio's Anthony Florio's. Are you Mr. Co225 still, Florio, on the YouTube?
That was on the Tone 25 channel, Fletch.
The Tone 25. Okay, because I remember you used to have Mr. Kochu 25, but now it's the Tone 25. So log on to that a little bit later on. It's not up yet. It'll probably give it a few minutes and you will get that as always. But welcome to the Ranger Roundup as we recap Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden tonight. And, well, I'll say it like this. The New York Rangers hung themselves tonight, making some big time mistakes, and they got absolutely thrashed. One of the worst beatdowns I could ever think of in postseason hockey history. This was an ugly, ugly defeat. They lose 6-2 tonight in the Garden, and oddly enough, we were kind of thinking that maybe New York, it was good to at least get a split, but there's nothing good about this. This was an absolute thrashing, and it started very early in the game. It started off 5 minutes and 38 seconds in. Tyler Johnson gets a short-handed goal. What really makes this more upsetting is that New York had a 5-on-3 advantage, and they let this one get away. So it was 1-0. Alex Caron gets the assist. Then at 8:50 in the first period, the New York Rangers gets on a power play. Chris Kreider gets the goal as he gets assisted by Marty St. Louis and Danny Boyle, and it sends it to a 1-1 tie. Well, that tie was short lived because Tyler Johnson got another goal, his second of the game. Steven Stamkos and Kucherov gets the assist at 11:15. That ended the first period, and New York outshot them 11-9 in the first period. But let's be realistic. I mean, tempers were flaring. It was a fast-paced first period, no doubt about it. Um, so it was definitely looking like it was going to be a good start to the game. Tampa got the lead, and we're going to have to see what happened on that. In the second period, Tyler Johnson gets the hat trick in the game. A weird play, a net bounce scramble as Palat and Kucherov gets the assist again. This is the 11th goal of the season or the 11th goal in the postseason for Tyler Johnson, the most out of any player in the NHL's postseason right now. Then the Rangers get one back. Uh, Derek Stepan gets the goal. Marty St. Louis gets his second assist of the game. So did Danny Boyle. He gets his second assist of the game at 14-11. That takes the game and that led the game to a 3-2 after two periods. Going into the third, I'm just gonna say it. It was all Tampa Bay. Uh, Alex Calhoun gets the first goal, his second, which was his fourth of the postseason. Victor Hedman and and Fibula gets the assist. Then Steven Stamkos on a power play goal, his fourth of the postseason. Colburn and Kucherov gets the assist on that, and then Corhan gets the goal. Grissom and Fibula gets the assist. Another power play goal. There's really nothing more to say. Tampa wins the game. 6-2 was the final score. The Rangers outshotted the Lightning 37-26 in the whole game. In the third, it was 15-11. But what really did the Rangers in tonight? Too many penalties in the game. I mean, look, let's just break it down. Penalty wise, I mean, it was absolutely crazy how this game started. Um, you had Danny Boyle holding, you had Garrison going into the box for a delay, puck going over the glass. Brandon Morrow gets a high stick, so you're thinking, oh great, this is perfect. New York is gonna capitalize. No, Kreider gets a penalty on Kuch on a roughing penalty, which was a stupid penalty in my eyes. Then Ryan Callahan goes into the box. 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds later, Stepan does a Dinkelberg moment, tripping Colburn. That led to one of the power play goals. Actually, the first power play goal was Tyler Johnson that gave him the 2-1 lead. Then Colburn gets nailed for roughing on Hagelin, and Cedric Palat uh, got interfered on Dominic Moore going into the third. New York just absolutely just lost their cool. Stepan goes to the box again for tripping. Derek Brassard got a high stick that led to Stamkos's power play goal. Then at the end, right near the end, uh, Tanner Glass absolutely lost his cool, blowing up. There was a little scruff at the end, and what happened? He gets a roughing penalty, 2 minutes for roughing, and a 10-minute misconduct penalty. That pretty much was the kiss of death, and that led to Kahan to get the sixth and final goal of the game. The three stars of the game, Nageti Kucherov gets the number 3 star for 3 assists in the game. Alex Carhorn gets the number 2 star, 2 goals and 1 assist. And Tyler Johnson gets the number 1 star with the hat trick, 3 goals in the game. Anthony Florio, go ahead, man. Try to break down this absolute thrashing.
Oh my goodness. Yes, hello friends. It is indeed Anthony Florio here with you for this edition of the Ranger Roundup. Usually I'm delighted to be here, but on this night I can honestly say I'm not delighted to be here because of a less than stellar performance tonight. No, a piss poor performance tonight by your New York Rangers, and oh my goodness. I mean, oh, I don't know where to begin, man. I mean, where do we begin? I mean, uh, well, I mean, Fletcher, I know you broke down all the numbers, so I'm not going to waste any more time on that. So I'm just going to do what I usually do. Um, well, there were some numbers that I quickly want to mention. I mean, you touched on the shots on goal, the power plays. I mean, Tampa Bay was 3 out of 6. For all you mathematical geniuses out there, that's 50%. Yeah. Rangers were 2 for 5. Okay, that's cool. Face-offs. Hey, guess what? The Rangers actually won the face-offs for a change, 31-26, 54% to 46%. The hits, 28-26 in favor of the Rangers. The block shots, 17-10 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, yeah. Um, Looking at it, um, Bishop, 35 saves on 37 shots. Lundqvist, 20 saves on 26 shots. This was definitely not a good night for Henrik Lundqvist. I mean, Bishop clearly outplayed him on that. Now, as far as the, like I always like to do my ode here, my based on the numbers, who I felt were the best players on the ice for each team. When it comes to the Tampa Bay Lightning, far and away, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Tyler Johnson was clearly the star of this game tonight. Not only did he have a hat trick, he also had 3 blocked shots, he had a hit, and he won 8 faceoffs. So he was definitely the number 1 star of the game. Um, my number 2 star, I'd have to give it to Phil Pula. Phil Pula once again, he was a nuisance again tonight. 2 assists, won 7 faceoffs. Um, I'll even throw in Killhorn. He had 2 goals and an assist. also had 3 hits. Kucherov, 3 assists and a hit. Definitely a very good game from him. Brendan Morrow had 4 hits. Um, Nestorov had a couple of hits and 2 blocks. Andre Palat an assist to go with 3 blocks and 3 hits. And our old friend, another one of our old friends, Anton Strawman, 3 blocks on the night. Callahan had a few hits to go with a block shot. Coburn had a solid game tonight with a block. Johnson and Phil Pula killed us on faceoffs again. They combined to win 15 of the faceoffs. Johnson had won 8 of them. Phil Pula won 7. Bishop was fantastic tonight, 35 saves on 37 shots. But if you want on, and I'll even have to throw in another one of our old friends, Brian Boyle, 3 hits and a block shot. So looking at it, and I'll even throw in Paquette with a couple of hits and yes, I think I've pretty much gone through all of the positives for the Tampa Bay Lightning. But if you want me to be really honest with you, Tyler Johnson was far and away the star of this game tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he definitely looked like the Tyler Johnson of the earlier rounds of the playoffs. I mean, we saw the Tyler Johnson that the Detroit Red Wings saw, who was scoring goals in bunches, and he did that tonight. And the main reason why the Tampa Bay Lightning won this game, well, what a difference the game makes. I mean, we saw it in Game 1. The New York Rangers dictated the pace of the game. They had it. And what I mean by dictate the pace of the game is it was their style of game. That Game 1 was a New York Rangers style game. Low scoring, hard hitting, defensive minded. That's exactly what happened, and that's why the New York Rangers won Game 1. Now, when it comes to tonight's Game 2, which I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, I had the Tampa Bay Lightning winning tonight. Not only did I have them winning, I had them winning big, and that's exactly what happened here tonight. So I'm not at all surprised by this outcome. Yes, I'm very pissed off about it. This was one time I really wanted to be wrong about it, but I had to be right about this. You knew it was going to be back to reality, and Michael Flecha, I get it. And this is why Michael Flecha did not want to see this team in this round. That's exactly why he did not want to see this team. I get it, Fletch. I get it now. And tonight, the Tampa Bay Lightning dictated the pace of the game. The Lightning played their style of game tonight, which, as we all know, bullying people, not first and foremost, and of course, even worse than that, scoring goals in bunches. And they scored a lot, and they scored in bunches tonight. And that's why they won this game. A Tampa Bay Lightning game is scoring goals in bunches, and scoring, and like I said, scoring in bunches in which the opposition, no matter how good they are, which as we all know, the New York Rangers, the most consistent team out there, they cannot match those offensive wits of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Because if they even try to match if they even try to, match the Tampa Bay Lightning in their style of game, the Lightning's going to tear them apart. And it could be an open and shut series, but thankfully it's 1-1. I mean, they got the split. I'm very pleased with that. But now to the losers, which unfortunately in this case it was the New York Rangers. But there were some positives, though. I will admit this. If you want to ask me who I felt was the best player on the ice, the best players on the ice. First off, Derek Brassard. He won 7 faceoffs tonight. He won 7 faceoffs tonight. Dominic Moore had 9 faceoff wins tonight. But when it comes to the good stuff, Rick Nash, 5 hits. He had 5 hits tonight. Excuse me. James Shepard had 4 hits as well. Danny Girardi and Tanner Glass each had 3 hits, but Glass had 2 blocks and Girardi had a block. Fost, I thought, played a solid game with a hit and 2 blocks. Danny Boyle had a hit and a takeaway. And, Stepan, I thought, played a solid game, had a hit. Yandel was pretty okay tonight. But even though Glass had 3 hits and a takeaway and 2 block shots, he had 12 penalty minutes tonight. He committed a lot of Dinkelberg moments there. And as I look it down and everything else, those are really the only real positives tonight. I mean, Lundqvist got lit up like a Christmas tree in July, and that's exactly what happened here tonight. And a lot more negatives than positives usually for the New York Rangers. And out of all the games in the playoffs so far, this was far and away the New York Rangers' worst performance. And I even saw it on social media, on the Rangers Twitter feed. A lot of the Ranger players were visibly upset about it, and you can't blame them. I think, and I know one of the Rangers went as far as to say the performance tonight was flat out embarrassing. And I believe it was the captain himself, Ryan McDonough, who said that. And quite frankly, I agree with our captain. I mean, this was as horrific of a performance as you can. I mean, I can honestly say this was the worst Ranger performance since Game 3 of last year's finals against Los Angeles Kings. That's the last time I can remember the Rangers getting, playing this piss poor. And yeah, so not a good night for Ranger fans. This was a carbon copy of Game 2 of the Tampa Bay Lightning series against the Montreal Canadiens. The only difference is that went put about 2-0. We got a split here. That's the best we can. That's the best we could absolutely ask for. We got a split here. Um, Now we move on to Game 3 on Wednesday, and then Game 4 will be on Friday. We now know there will at least be a Game 5, and that will be back at Madison Square Garden on Sunday night. So the Tampa Bay Lightning take the home field advantage, and and the Lightning, they did it their way. They did it the bully way, scoring goals in bunches and bullying the New York Rangers, just like the Washington Capitals did in the last round. And you know, a five-star performance by the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. I honestly expected them to win tonight. I did not expect the Rangers to go up 2-0. Not against this team. This team is way too good. Everybody knows that. And yeah, so now I got to do it. Come Wednesday night, New York Rangers are coming to play. I don't care about this pipe organ. I don't care about the rowdy crowd in Tampa Bay. We all know how rowdy it gets, and I know the pipe organ is a big deal and a big tradition over there, and I respect and appreciate it. But got news for you. You got a very angry and pissed off bunch of blue shirts who are going to come in there, and they're so angry right now. You better believe they're going to take charge, and they're gonna dictate the pace of the game on Wednesday night. Let's hope they do that. Let's hope we get it back to New York Rangers hockey, which is low scoring, hard hitting, defensive minded, and everything else. So not a good performance by the New York Rangers, but a fantastic performance by the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, and that's why we're where we are right now. So that's pretty much all I can say about it. So hats off to Tampa Bay, big win, and now, where do we go from here, guys? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. So with that said, Michael Bullock, let's get your thoughts on tonight's game 2 with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers.
Yes. Hello, friends. This is Mike Bullock here for the Rangers Roundup. Yeah, I mean, New York Rangers, they were just uh, dominated all throughout the game tonight. Yeah, I mean, basically, Tyler Johnson. What can you say? He was the number one star of the game for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I mean, he pulled a hat trick. He had 3 goals. Uh, yeah, and Killorn had a couple as well. And yes, even Steven Stamkos got one as well. And yeah, excuse me. And Stepan had a goal for the Rangers, and Chris Kreider had a goal as well. And yeah, I'm sure New York Rangers fans are pretty pissed off about this. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that, like you said, that really killed the New York Rangers was the penalties. I mean, there were too many penalties that they created. That they had tonight, and I mean, and against a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning, that's something you can't do. And me and Florio talked about this when we talked about this earlier, and I said, I mean, if the New York Rangers, they want to win the series, they need to dictate their way, dictate the way they play. Because if you fall into the way the Tampa Bay Lightning play, no, you have no chances of winning that game. No way, no way. And that's unfortunately what happened. And yeah, and that's the thing that the New York Rangers need to do in Game 3. They need to dictate the game that they play, and not have another piss poor performance like they did. So Yeah, you guys pretty much touched on everything. So with that being said, Flecha, let's just wrap up the this edition of the Rangers Roundup.
Like Anthony Florio says, they have to come to play in Game 3. The scene now moves to Tampa. It is now a best of 5, 3 wins away for either side to capture the Prince of Wales Trophy and get the golden ticket to the Stanley Cup Final and their chance at hoisting the greatest trophy in sports. For Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Flecha. We will see you Wednesday night for another edition of the Ranger Roundup right here on YouTube.com as part of Braves Fan 95, one of many networks of the Strictly Sports and Wrestling Forum family. Have a good night, everybody.